Hi everyone, my name is Olivia and I am a product designer on the flagship themes team at Shopify. Today I'm going to be walking you through our research process for how we start designing a new theme. Once you have defined your intended segment, like apparel, food and beverage, or premium goods, the first step is to conduct an audit to determine what type of art direction the theme should have and what types of sections and features would be most valuable to add. We start our audits by looking into both Shopify merchants and other merchants that are representative of the intended segment. We look for trends in the industry and to see what types of smaller categories emerge from within them. For instance, in the food and beverage industry, specialty beverage websites like juices or coffee are quite common. At this stage, we typically start in Figma and begin to compile and organize screenshots grouped into sections, templates, and art direction details. When working on Shopify's food and beverage theme, this process took me about 2 weeks to complete. Also, we have included a few resources here to assist you in knowing where to find inspiration. In order to ensure you're building a theme that offers distinct value, it's beneficial to look at both Shopify's theme store and other e-commerce theme store platforms to help you identify what could be missing. Here's a look at Site Inspire. They make it easy to filter or search by keywords, which will be helpful to find sites in your intended industry segment or sites specifically created by Shopify merchants. Starting with sections and features, we compile screenshots of the sections and types of content that appear the most often. For example, on food and beverage websites, a nutrition facts table is quite common to be on product pages. Documenting details like how the navigation is set up or unique features like a quick buy button on product cards can help you start to see what is most important to be prioritizing during the build. We then organize them similarly to how you see here, by section, feature, or even UI elements like icons and buttons. This will help you define your scope down the line. Then we move to our template pages. The collection, product, home, about us, and cart pages are typically the most common ones we look at, but of course different industries may have other distinct navigation items that are worth digging into. Some interesting things to observe are how many sections are on each page, how many sections are used for storytelling versus for product details, are the pages more content focused or are they more image focused, and how large are the images? Lastly, we look at art direction and how that can make the theme look distinct. Art direction can be expressed through the size of the typography, how many colors are on the page, how large or how tight the margins and padding are, how the images are cropped, just to name a few. To ensure your theme is offering a distinct enough art direction, compare it to other themes in this segment. Look into the color palettes, the font styling that they're using, the amount of flexibility that the merchants have in order to change those things to make them unique, and the types of elements that you could include, like different icons or very large typography. Here I've compiled a few interesting art direction details, like different type treatments, an interesting section divider, and staggered product cards. Some other questions to keep in mind are how the price point or inventory size affect the feature list. For example, stores that cater to lower ticketed items typically have a quick add feature on their product cards, or stores that have larger inventories may have a vertical filter on their collection pages. So depending on your target merchant, your feature list may change. Moving along to process and organization. To narrow down into an art direction, we usually start by grouping our screenshots into 2 to 4 distinct styles, as shown here. The one on the left shows a more serious tone. There are bold lines used to separate sections, tight margins, and very large type, while the one on the right shows a more playful tone. Every section is a different color, the images have unique cropping styles, and some section separators have playful, wavy lines. Despite both being beverage websites, they convey very different feelings. Once you've settled on an art direction, start to organize a list of every section and feature that are most common from your audit. This can be done in a spreadsheet to help you organize and eventually prioritize everything. Other interesting notes you can add are about how a section is used. If you observe the same section used in a variety of different ways, that could be a good indication that the section could benefit from additional flexibility and may require layout settings when you reach the design and build phase. Details like this can be helpful to note early on to have a better understanding of how long a section will take to build. Next, we have scoping. In this stage, you're going to want to continue to build out your feature list. Here we've added a link to Shopify's baseline feature and template guidelines for you to use as a reference, as well as it includes some naming and copy recommendations. As you decide on what will be added to your theme, it's helpful to compare your offering to what currently exists in the theme store. How do you think your theme will stand out compared to other themes? Lastly, we have some final considerations. Despite designing for a specific industry, to help you cast a wider net, Shopify themes should work for merchants who have different types of assets, are in different industries like apparel, which is one of Shopify's most common product categories, and adapt to different lengths of copy. As well, remember to ensure you're designing with accessibility in mind. Design hover states for all of your call to actions, allow for alt text to be added to your images and videos, and ensure the default states of your theme have proper color and type contrasts. Also, consider how your theme will be translated into other languages. How will your layout adapt when the content gets significantly longer in languages like German? These details are essential for ensuring you're setting up your merchants for success and creating a high-quality buyer experience. That's all for me. Thank you so much for listening, and best of luck.